For thousands of years, women worldwide suffered from what is called Cleopatra's curse. What comes to mind when you hear my name? Cleopatra, last pharaoh of ancient Egypt. Some might say beauty. Some might say power. Some might say a love affair with Julius Caesar, a love affair with Mark Antony, a mysterious death. Did you know that I spoke 9 languages fluently? That I, after 300 years of Greek domination on the Egyptian throne, was the ever first one to make the effort to learn the language of my people, to earn their loyalty and love? I had a genius brain. I was brilliant, and I ran Egypt like a modern CEO. I controlled more money than all your Forbes billionaires combined. People don't know that. And how could they? The victors, male Roman historians, wrote my history. For them, it was politically less dangerous to portray me as a sensual temptress than admitting my power and my brilliance. Cleopatra's curse was born. From that moment on, a powerful woman was perceived as something negative and dangerous. What does that all have to do with you, my modern sisters? Everything. I'm watching you. How could it be that still women make up only 15% of all top positions in corporations and only 22% of all national parliamentarians worldwide? Have you ever wondered why, despite the fact that you all are brilliant, highly educated, and committed, so many women struggle to live their full potential in their life? Officially, I might be dead since over 2,000 years. But my spirit is still alive. I live in the brains of all living women. How is that possible? I let my German sister, the lady with the brain Sylvia, explain to you. I'm born in Germany by my beloved parents who loved me dearly. Like a lot of Germans of their generation, inside their adult bodies, they were still traumatized children from the Second World War. I was a so-called gifted child, so I was always the best in class throughout my school career. When I came home with the report cards showing these top grades, going proudly and excited to my dad, he looked down on the report cards. He looked up deeply into my eyes with this expression of worry, concern, sometimes even panic in his face. And then he would shake his head in pain, saying, "Oh, honey, you are way too intelligent. You will never find a husband." Having learned from my mother that for every woman the most important job is to find the right husband by the age of 25, I felt doomed. And sure enough, all my first lovers and later 2 fiancés left me, proving my father to be right. In my early 30s, I was in Germany a rising star inside the new profession of executive coaching. I was working with an established consulting company, and yet I was the only woman on the team. Interestingly, all the top assignments started pouring in after I got married. So I wondered and asked the CEO of that company, why is that? His answer, "Well, my dear, when you were young, beautiful, and single, you were considered too much of a threat for our top executive clients. Now, being married, you're not any longer a threat to them." Cleopatra's curse in full swing. In my understanding, Cleopatra's curse is a list of beliefs such as, It is dangerous for a woman to be successful. When a woman steps up and speaks her truth, she might get attacked or even killed. If a woman makes more money than anyone else in her company or speeds up her career faster than anyone else, the only answer, she must have slept her way to the top. All these beliefs are still alive and strong in so many people's brains. How does that show up in everyday life? A female executive, when she maps out her career plan, she uses her conscious mind. A female business owner, when she maps out her products, she uses her conscious mind. Please, lady, raise your right hand and touch gently your forehead like this. What you feel behind your skin, a thin layer of flesh, and your skull is your neocortex. It's a part of the brain which is finished developing around your 24th birthday at the end of puberty. You can release your hand right now. The neocortex is able to make conscious decisions for you. The neocortex creates your plans and your strategies to move forward in life. And sadly, the neocortex, as I said, is not developed when we are young, cute little girls. When we are young, cute little girls, something else is running our life. Please raise both of your hands and touch your head on the back above your neck and gently feel what's underneath that. What you sense here is in this much, much bigger part of your brain is your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is like a sponge. It takes in everything. Everything you ever thought, ever felt, the environment you grew up in, your family, your parents, your culture, everything is deeply imprinted in your subconscious mind, including our collective female consciousness. This is a place where Cleopatra and her curse is still alive. How does it look like? A woman stands here in her current situation, and she feels her potential. She longs to have more impact, to make more money, to have a bigger team, wider reach. So she lays out with her conscious mind, her conscious plans and strategies, and makes a decision to move towards her dreams. But her ego, as part of her subconscious mind, committed to her safety, says, "No! Stay here! That there is dangerous. They might kill you. And if they don't kill you, you might lose your love." I experienced that kind of pattern again and again and again in my life. For example, after years, my revenue growing constantly, when I got married, it plateaued. Or me asking for way lower fees than all my male competitors. Or trusting other people's advice more than my own intuition, losing a ton of money. The key here is to understand our ego is not the enemy. Our ego is the strongest part in our brain committed to our survival and safety. It just develops when we are a cute little girl, not having yet a neocortex to make appropriate decisions. So what can we do? What can we change? We are already doing it by doing what we're doing here right now. Meeting at a public leadership conference, talking about these taboos, and acknowledging in this public place our most intimate fears. When a brilliant, perfectly prepared woman starts to sweat or stumble in public while speaking, it's her ego kicking in, wanting to keep and stay her safe. And this is not only Cleopatra's curse. These patterns got reinforced in Europe by 300 years of witch hunt. These women which got tortured and killed were not dumb, naive little girls. No. They were the wise women of their time, the businesswomen, the widows, the wise women, the shamans. They were wealthy, they were financially independent. They traded, they taught, they healed others. Generations of loving parents told their daughters, "Psst, Don't tell them that you can read and write. Hide. Make yourself small. Hide. Be pleasant to look at, but not heard as intelligent. My mother, 78, still alive, thanks God, she still suffers from the effect of the Second World War in the form of anxiety attacks and depressions. She never, for one moment in her whole life, fully experienced her own power, living her full potential. Her pain of her unrealized potential is shared by me and millions of women worldwide. Are you ready to live your full potential? Are you ready to step into your power? Are you ready to turn your ego into your most powerful ally? Please, ladies, stand up. Please put your right hand on your heart and repeat loud after me. I am powerful.
I am powerful.
It is safe for me to be powerful.
It is safe for me to be powerful.
I am successful.
I am successful.
It is safe for me to be successful.
It is safe for me to be successful.
Thank you. Please be seated. I invite you to repeat these 4 sentences every morning while looking into your own eyes in a mirror in your bathroom and every time you need a boost. When your ego learns that you are safe, it turns all the energy which is invested to keep you small and safe in your old comfort zones of old role plays and careers and lifestyle designs. It takes all that energy into the energy to move you forward towards your dreams. Please share these 4 statements with as many women as you can. Because then, together, collectively, we can rewire our brains, break Cleopatra's curse, and enjoy being Sue. Successful, unstoppable, and empowered. Thank you.
I told my story, I shared my lessons because I believed I could help others. I had come full circle that day. Now, I wasn't a fool. I knew that I had a lot more to go through for my husband and I, for me as a woman, and my business. But that day, I saw beyond the fear and I saw beyond the pain for the first time in a long time.